Hi, everybody. Welcome to Comforts of Home TV. I'm Neva, and today I'm so excited to share with you my take on Panera Bread's autumn squash soup. And I grew these in my garden. I just wanted to share it with you. It's so cute. And I picked it, a couple of months ago, and a little sugar pumpkin and a butternut squash, both from the garden. So I'm so excited to make this soup and show you how I do it.
Autumn was what I was going to say, when the leaves change.
So I start by roasting. I'm going to cut this open, cut the butternut squash open, take the seeds out, and then I'm going to put it in the oven for about an hour. And I like to roast that ahead of time. And I can usually do that a day ahead, set it in the refrigerator, and make the soup the next day. So let's get into the pumpkin here. All right, I've cut it open, taken all the seeds out. That'll be fun for a snack later. My kids like that. And look how pretty the color is inside. I just love that. So I'm going to stick this in a 350 oven for about an hour to get us started. Then we'll make the soup.
Let's get started.
All right, so out of the oven, all cooked. We've got the pumpkin and the butternut squash. So now let's move on to making the soup in the pot. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil, about like that, eyeball it. So I think the oil's heated up enough. So here's the one onion diced up. Yep, I can hear it sizzling. The 3 chopped medium carrots. I think that it's hard to have a soup without onion and carrots as the base, especially for an autumn squash soup. And this just sounds so good to me, is 1 Granny Smith apple. It's not fall without putting a little apple into it. When we lived in New Hampshire, we would go to this Allison's apple orchard, and it was just beautiful views, and it was so fun to just pick the apples right off the trees.
Yeah, that was really neat.
We haven't found that.
Such a pretty setting.
Yeah, it's so pretty. In fall, it was just, they just had bags and bags of apples. Okay, so I'm going to let this cook down for probably up to 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the other ingredients that we're going to boil. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, and these have cooked to what I would want them to. So let me start with the 2 cups of, and we really like this apple juice. So 2 cups of apple juice. And I think the apple juice really makes a wonderful flavor for this soup. 4 cups of chicken broth. This is a generous 4 cups. And we're going to bring this to a boil. Great. And at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and add the spices. I have sage, curry, cinnamon, and a couple of dashes of nutmeg. That's going to go in right now. All of our great fall flavors. So I'm going to give this a stir, and then we're going to bring this to a boil for probably another 5 minutes. All right, so the apples are pretty nicely cooked. Let me put that aside. And the carrots. So it's time to add the butternut squash. And this is in more, and the pumpkin that's already been roasted. Let it dive in to the pot. It's so fun growing things in your garden, and it's so rewarding to be able to make a dish from it. So I'm going to let this warm up just a little bit, kind of come back to a boil, and then I get to use one of my favorite kitchen tools, my immersion blender I got a couple years for my birthday. This has been awesome. So I'm going to add at this point 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, just in case it wasn't sweet enough, because we want it to be a sweet, savory soup. See the chunks of that. So now I'm going to blend it with my immersion blender. Then it'll start really looking like Panera bread autumn squash soup when you see this get blended. All the carrots and apple, the pumpkin, butternut squash get all blended. Have to take it easy. I don't want to splash hot boiling soup everywhere. Having this, which I have never had one until a couple years ago when I got it for my birthday, but it's just really revolutionized soups for me in the kitchen. So now I've got it smooth and pureed.
Yes, very smooth, super smooth.
That is so cool. Just like you would get in the restaurant. And this is 2 ounces of cream cheese. Adding at this point. All right, now that the cream cheese is all melted, I've stirred that in really well. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. And this just finishes it off so nicely to make it extra rich. So I'm just gonna blend this in. I'm turning the heat off. And now, ready to serve.
Soup.
Okay, so in my hummingbird bowl, and for my husband, the cameraman,
Yes, don't forget
to
that.
taste. It's pretty rich and hearty and nice sweetness to it,
Looks
right?
really good.
Okay, let's take it to the table. All right, let's see how this turned out.
Yeah, looking
My-
forward to it.
Inspired copycat Panera bread autumn soup. The squash. Oh, it's very rich and
Yeah,
such a
it really
nice
tastes like
sweetness.
Fall.
Mm-hmm.
The apple in there.
It's like taking all the great things about fall, the apple, the pumpkin, even the butternut squash. I really like the apple
Really
juice.
creamy too.
Yeah, the creaminess is wonderful. A little bit
Flavor
of
in there.
curry and sage in there. This would be wonderful at Thanksgiving. We usually eat so much that it's hard to have room for soup at
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, but I would recommend this is, perfect for that.
It was like something you get at the restaurant.
Yeah, it definitely tastes like that. Well, we hope you all have a wonderful day and try this recipe. And if you like it, leave a comment and tell us how it turned out for you, and leave us a like. Have a great week. Blessings to your house from ours.
Yep,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.